don't know how they're going to work together, even though we know the majority of these players from Open Division, from 2016 Heroes of the Storm and Power League, we don't know exactly where they're going to stand in a real professional game on these new rosters.
Oh man, Battlegrounds out, but of course we have Braxis now with 2018 map pool, but sorry guys.
No Warhead.
No Warhead, and also Volskaya is banned, and Braxis also. I guess we're keeping the... not really keeping the StarCraft when Overwatch coming in, you know?
Yeah, well, it's always the idea of new maps are banned in HGC Korea, and that is going to continue for the time being. So Volskaya completely removed here now, and I have a feeling that theme will continue throughout the majority of the early weeks of HGC Korea as it's still being figured out. Yes, it's been released a long time now on Hero League, on Quick Match, things like that. It's actually one of my favorite new maps. I actually like it much more than StarCraft Battlegrounds myself. I think it's a really well thought out map, but
much more than Hanamura.
Well, we don't like to talk about that. Let's not talk about that map in this tournament. That is not in the pool. Cursed Hollow is not in the pool. Blackhearts and our Garden Tower map. These maps are removed. So it's time for our very first draft of HGC Korea and the first draft of the 2018 HGC season.
Oh yes.
And already Abathur removed.
Okay, that was expected, very expected.
Yeah, not a big surprise given how Korean teams prioritize him on Cursed Hollow and have throughout the history of Korean Heroes of the Storm.
If you like watching HGC but didn't have really time to play the game too much recently, it's not a new game, but the drafting, also how they pick on heroes because of the rotation changes, the camp changes, the lane changes, that has been coming in so hard, like Sonya, because she can bully the lane so much, and then all the objects come out later, so you can, if you bully, the snowball starts from the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, because of the ammo changes, oftentimes you, instead of just pushing a lane, well, this starts to look like we're back in 2017, but with the ammo changes, you oftentimes, if you want to get a lead in the solo lane, you will push hard and not leave to try to actually get those towers down. All right,
there we go, Shimada brothers.
Both of them are in here, and we see a high priority for Uther as well, as this is one of our fastest strategies we've ever had. So our first soul laner of the game is going to be Dahaka, and obviously he will be able to do a lot of pressure, and without the ammo removal, he'll want to, if he wants to get the same amount of pressure done in the top lane as he would have originally, stay in the lane longer, because originally with a hero like Dahaka, if he depleted the ammo, he could leave, go and team fight, go fight at the tribute, and the minions would do the work for him. But now, because ammo does not deplete, he has to stay there longer, kill those towers, kill that wall to get the same kind of value. The minions just simply will not be enough.
Yeah, Dahaka is actually a good pick, but has to change your playstyle depending on, because of the game change. And also you have to be there, either you have to bring your teammate to actually push into the tower. It takes a longer time. And also with the recent change, even all the tower sports keeps, they do so much more damage, 33% more damage, so it's going to be tougher to push in. That's the newest change coming into the game, actually. Lucio, of course, one of the best support right now at the moment, banned away from Feliz.
Heavily picked in the Gold Club World Championship, and at the end of 2017, especially in Korea, he was super high priority because of his ability to allow faster rotations and to sound barrier, which basically replaced Sanctification as a tool to kind of grant invulnerability. Not, of course, of CCs, but the shields are so massive that in a team fight, he was able to do a lot with that shielding.
Yeah, that's right. Even if you just go nearby Lucio, you can always get protected by that sound barrier. It's one of the biggest tools. Also, just taking away Uther from Genji just to make sure Genji's not shielded with that Dragon Blade, because Hanzo will be in danger. This draft is actually going super quick. I did not expect this to happen from the very beginning.
I think these players are hungry, you know. They've been preparing a lot. They've been scrimming a lot, and you know, the patch hasn't really changed that much. Obviously, over the Blaze patch coming out, you know, it's been out for a while now, so I feel like they've been prepared for this for a long time. Cassia will come in as a secondary DPS here for Feliz, so 2 DPS on both sides at the moment, so no double support as this is grinding up here. If they were to go for double support, it would be with Hanzo probably as the solo laner for Feliz, and that is something we have seen in scrims, but it's pretty weird. It's not the commonplace play style.
Does not have the best wave clear at the beginning. Later on, when he picks the scatter arrow talent, maybe he does, but for the beginning, and also banning on Arthas. GLuck, I think they realized that Feliz, they're trying to build up poking, very good poking comp from far away, so they're having a force pick on Muradin, because Muradin by himself with Uther heal may not be enough, and I think GLuck can actually force them out with all the damage coming in. That's a good idea of having this draft.
Now, what becomes the tank here is a big question. You know, Johanna would do a lot for them for blinds, but I like the Anubarak pick. Hanzo's escapes are pretty weak, obviously because he has his, you know, cyber agility is what's called for Genji, the jump over walls. Oh my god.
Samuro!
Alright, well, we gotta talk about this, but
we do have to talk about this.
The dive potential with Dahaka and Anubarak and Genji onto Hanzo is really high. You can only jump over walls when they're available, and they're not as available as you would think. It can get a little bit buggy, and which walls you can jump over can get complicated, but you and I were talking about how we thought we would see Samuro this week, and in game number 1, we're seeing him already. He will be the solo laner for Feliz here, and it's a bit odd that we are completely done with double support, it looks like, going into our first match day.
I thought with the Anubarak lock, I thought it was almost guaranteed, because if you lock just Cocoon Uther down, there's no safety, there's nothing to save your teammate, but I guess they can work it out with the rotational work. I can't wait till the game starts and how they rotate this.
All right, Samuro going to be very powerful, very push-oriented, and you know, we talked about the ammo changes, but he can, with his clones, stay in lane longer while rotating. There's a lot he can do as a split pusher, and will be a good matchup against Dahaka. We are starting things off, guys. Game number 1, GLuck versus Feliz here on Cursed Hollow, our opening day of HGC Korea. And something else to note, we're going to have our client in English this year.
Yes,
so
for the entire year.
Raven Lord announcer in English, man. I'm going to miss the Korean one.
Let the battle begin.
Well, this is my favorite announcer. I wish I could have him for every map. That would be sick.
Yeah, that would be sick. I wonder how well he can actually rotate Samuro. Samuro is a big pain. If you're losing the game, basically you can never catch Samuro. It's impossible. And I wonder how good Frankel is on Hanzo. That W is pretty hard, you know.
It is going to be a difficult skill shot to land. It's a bouncing skill shot, so there's ways to maximize damage. But already Samuro going up there to the top lane, so we're going to see that matchup between Saron and Hanaten here. With Samuro, we'll see what he could do. He doesn't have the same sort of global presence, even though he can leave his clones there while rotating for a little while, as a Dahaka will, because Dahaka can simply brush talk to the tribute fights. Another change we should talk about very briefly is tributes will be pre-announced, as will all, of course, map objectives.
Even before the announcement.
That's right. So you will know there's a certain randomness to it, but you'll know far in advance where it will be.
So you don't even need to remember where every third, or if it happened before, so you can basically know. You can make that rotational work before, so it's easier for you to rotate down later on.
That's right.
Oh man, we're so zoomed out though. I need my glasses, man. I do have my glasses, but I need contacts on my glasses.
Well, we are set up with some pretty big monitors here at our studio to watch these games on. As you can see, it's a good matchup for Samuro versus the Dahaka. Obviously, with the clones, it's going to be very difficult for Dahaka to actually land a tongue grab, which makes it a good matchup, as long as you can use the clones directly. Even though Dahaka normally has such great wave clear, you struggle. Part of that comes from the threat.
Ustukov also coming about getting harassed by Cassia, so I think they have to back out here.
Looked like Relic just wanted to poke over here to see how much coverage of the camp was there, but Muradin was missing mid, so they thought, you know, better of it, and to be wise to do so.
Yeah, that's also a good push, because Greymane has been starting the camp early, super early from the other side, and also the down one right now. So I think that's also finally. Oh, never mind, we're back out.
Pretty zoomed out here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the first tongue grab we're going to see in the solo lane up here, and Hanaten's actually in trouble. He's going to have to tap well here, and with this push of the Siege Giants, we're getting that permanent damage done here. This is what I was talking about. With no ammo, you want to get as much damage done as you can yourself to the structures or with mercenaries, because the minions just simply will not do it for you as well, especially with the increased damage later on.
Also, we do have a new observer, so I think he's just testing key. Just press C, and then if it zooms in, just pressing everything at the moment, maybe. We'll see later on when it happens. Okay, strong. Tribute not spawning at 4T, but they knew it was going to come up. So I think in terms, GLuck actually made better rotations before to work it out.
And not only that, but remember they have Dahaka, so they should get this tribute no matter what, and if they get it while keeping Dahaka in the top lane, I think it's going to be a huge win for them. Let's see if they can make it happen. Big Stun's coming through here for Milky. Will be forced to charge out though, and it's a great trade so far here for Feliz. Genji coming down a bit late. And Dahaka may need to come in here to make this happen. Big stuns.
But the second aggro, and then they're doing some great damage onto Franco, but Tanzo is to survive all that. I think Saron is about to go. Oh, if that W hit all the damage onto Dahaka, maybe that was a kill.
Okay, so Dahaka's forced down here. This is a huge win for Feliz. They lose the tribute, but that battle could have gone worse for them. All the while, the mid push was hitting that mid wall, the night camp there, because Genji came down to contest the tribute. A lot of damage was done. We'll get a shot of that probably in a moment here. The mid damage is real. Top damage, because Dahaka had to come down for this tribute. Here's that mid damage. You can see already one cannon tower down. So huge win for Feliz. Sure, they lost the tribute, but what they gained on the map, I think, was much more valuable.
Yep, later on it's going to be a lot more helpful for GLuck, of course, Feliz. They're keeping up with the rotation because Dahaka has been bullying so far. I think the camp timing, that changed super early. GLuck with Greymane taking out. That's why Greymane is like not really banned, but always taken because of the camp control and all the... He has all the potentials to fight in team fight and also the laning phase. Greymane is such a good hero right now. Yeah, his wave clear is fantastic. His camp clear time, especially on a map like this, super important. Now, this is going to be a blue side top left tribute. So GLuck should look to solidify Curse Point with this next tribute. You can see Samaro's rotated down to the bot lane. Top lane push is really strong. So Feliz, again, are just going to try to use this time to solidify their advantage in terms of structural damage. Try to delay this at the same time to get 10 first. They didn't contest the next tribute. Okay to give this up because the next one's going to be on the right anyhow. The right side anyhow, but not if they give a kill. Hanzo's going to use the D to go over. Seems like they're doing okay with just Uther right now, but what if... But later on, it becomes a huge problem, though, when the cocoon comes down. Yeah, in the... Oh, not going to be the real grab here, though. Sarah thought it might have been, but not the case. But that was pretty well handled by GLuck. They only lost a little bit of damage in the top lane because of the tribute location. They sent Dahaka down to deal with the Samuro push. So yes, they are a little bit behind in experience, a little bit behind in structures, but the Curse should be able to get them all of that back if they win the next fight. And because Feliz is likely unable to get 10 before this next trip, you can see it's impossible for them to get 10 before this. They should be in good position to fight on even talent tiers. However, it is a red side tribute, as you mentioned. I love this invade by Relic. It's going to actually distract Feliz and make this so much easier for them to grab the tribute. And also, it's going to take a long time. So how they're really using Relic, he's going in like without... It almost feels like the Stukov or Anubarak is around him or something. He's been doing amazing jobs forcing out enemies all the time from the beginning of the game.
Oh, this is such a bad position for Feliz. Hanzo's down to the south. Samuro can't rotate up, whereas Dahaka can. This should easily be Curse. Relic's going to come into the front here. Nice angle to do a lot of damage. Already Feliz has lost this fight. They only have Uther long cooldown healing, whereas Stukov can heal this forever.
Does land on, but that's only one shot. They do have a lot of poking potential, but Anubarak is doing so well, taking all that damage up. They do get the Curse.
That's the Curse, and this is Stukov's wet dream, man, to be able to heal in this choke point. Look at how much damage Relic can put off here. Feliz has to back off. In fact, they could look to dive this fort because simply it's not active. The Curse is active. Look at Relic, so aggressive. They have 10 here. Dodges the Storm Bolt. And GLuck with a fantastic start here, but this is why Stukov is so strong on Cursed Hall. You fight in an area where the heals are just gonna flow no matter what.
Yeah, they also have 10 for the second there's an arrow, but stun, that's at the minimum range it does not do that long of a stun, so it's... But he tried for a second.
Yep. Saron here messing with Hanatan. Hanata's just trying to push this back. But yeah, I mean, we saw two great Stormbolt dodges there coming out from Relic. Already impressing on the Genji here in game one. And I think the comp for GLuck starts to explain itself. You have this divey comp that's going to cluster around the tribute. You have Stukov who's going to gain advantages from that with his long-term healing. And he just out-sustains Uther in every regard.
I thought Anubarak may not be enough to the front line to get all that poking damage, but seems like he does have with the spell armor basically built onto Anubarak. I think it's enough to get all the pokes from the front line, and the back line is just safe.
Yeah, it's just, the idea here is clearly to poke with Greymane while using Genji and the Beetles to harass if they need to delay the tribute. They haven't had to delay a tribute because they have the global that Samuro can't provide. They can fight, they can get in position first, knowing that Samuro can come down, or sorry, that Dahaka can come at any time. And I love how aggressive they're being in terms of invades right now. They have total map control. As you can see, threatening an invade. Hanatan is going to try to counter invade here, or scout this rather, I should say. I thought that was actually the real one for a second.
No, that's the fake one.
That's the fake one, obviously.
The fake one looks like a fake one, and the real one actually looks like a Samura. That's the
Thanks
easy
for
way
that,
to put it. That's like a dictionary saying. It's like, what does this mean? It's like, oh, it's a bird form of this one.
Oh, no, Chicop, I didn't bring my glasses to either. Like, that was also a fake one. Like. All right,
yeah,
so.
Don't get fooled, everyone.
So GLuck has the advantage in terms of structures now. They've turned it around. They were able to get second fort damaged here. Not a massive lead by any means.
This all started from the very early Green Bean King timing. Oh no, it's Relic in trouble. Does get stunned and chain stun with the CC. Nicely done.
So first blood of the game at 9 minutes. This shot was not enough to save him there. Good punish play by Feliz. Relic has been playing with fire all game long. Is finally punished for it.
Yeah, Dragon's Arrow, if you don't play Hanzo too much, based on how the distance, this is that W, but based on the distance, the damage, the stun, the duration goes up. I think Frankel just had the medium range there, right there.
Yep, still enough. So we head into this boss invade here. Feliz down a talent tier, but I don't think it matters. They're up in members.
With the Nuba frontline only, without so much healing up from Stukov.
And Cassia's orb was so well placed there. It's so strong actually against the dive comp of GLuck, and they came in outnumbered. They did not have, you know, the respawn Relic just yet. He had not joined, so this is a problem now. Those tributes should easily go over to Feliz.
Well, I was about to compliment GLuck for starting the game timing from the very beginning so that Samura doesn't have really so much time to actually make his own rotational work. So that's why Samura was basically like standing in line only, not really harassing or going in and out from all the lanes. But now with that kill, with those kills, Anubarak and Genji, I think they have the chance, really Samura has the chance to go around the map all the time now.
I think Feliz should get this tribute really easily. They're trying to buy time. GLuck is here, but I think it might be ill-advised to do so. Relic finds himself caught now. Here comes the Dragon Arrow, and that's going to be a kill into Relic for sure. Overextension here by GLuck, throwing their advantage quite a bit. Milky Way going to try to cocoon on the escape. He's not getting out of here either. Let's not forget, the reason why Daka could not come down is because the boss is wailing on that top fort. Now Feliz will get a double boss and tribute. The better move here easily would have been for GLuck to back off, soak lanes, allow the tribute, then contest boss with the respawn of a Nubarak. They got greedy, and now their keep wall will be threatened potentially here. Look at this push to the bot lane. They've got siege giants there. They could easily force this to a keep wall.
Wow. Hanzo, Frankel with that initiation every single time onto Genji. Genji has to be careful when the arrow flies, and you can actually dodge, but it was coming from a blind spot, so it was not the easiest thing to see. Also, there's a city chain of Uther, so you do have to be careful. Seems like GLuck is doing all the rotational work right, but when they have to make the small decisions like the teamwork or team fight where they have to go in, they're just not making it right here.
Yeah, they've been a little bit over-aggressive. Okay, gonna try to come in here using a Nubarak with a cleanse. Great Divine Shield onto Cassie here, getting healed up, and again the orb comes out.
Takun was way too late. Here comes the Dragon Blade. Can they get the kill? The boss is already working on it. There's the first kill. And Hanzo is still doing some damage from the back line. No healing coming out from Uther too much. Really
good deflection from Relic, buying some time there. OJ gets over the wall here with that Dwarf Toss. This fight ends up being a win for GLuck in terms of kills. Unfortunately, though, the boss was hitting that keep wall the entire time. Hadaten just clones himself over here to the mid lane. He's going to do some damage as he heads top. So keep wall damage. Level 16's up for Feliz. They're on Curse Point. Respawn timer is not long enough to affect the next tribute. It will be blue side. But I do feel like GLuck, again, even though we're seeing some flashy mechanical plays, the Dragon Blade was really cool.
Yeah.
The Cocoon was late, as you mentioned. A Nubarak coming in a little bit too late, and it just felt a little bit unnecessary while the boss was pushing to commit so heavily.
I don't think they're like 100% fit to get. Of course, this is their first official HGC match. Maybe they're nervous on stage with a lot of people, actually, a lot of people at the venue watching this right in front of them. Maybe they're nervous by a little bit, but so far Feli's actually doing a great job, you know?
Indeed. All right, well, we're going to have this next tribute spawning right now. It's going to be Curse Point, of course, for Feliz as they do approach this. Daka can rotate up at any point using his brush stock. So you see pokes coming through from Frankel here. Huge silence as well, but not perfectly placed.
Nicely going in, and then get this perfect chance to actually do all the Dragon Blade, but does not have the Dragon Blade, but without that, they have enough damage with Greymane and going in, just sweeping through everything.
Okay, Okay, Feliz finds themselves in a bad spot there. We lost audio for just a moment. Hope you guys didn't. As we see Liu on the retreat, does avoid the stun, but the slow's going to catch him. There's another pick. So GLuck, they kept their keep alive in the bot lane. We've reduced this now to an easy tribute for them. And with the kills they've gained, it was obviously a 1-for-3 trade for them. They can clear some camps and get ready for another push. So Boss is a long way away, of course.
Here's the thing with Samuro. If there's anything like Li Ming, Kel'Thas, Chromie onto the other side, it's a good way of picking Samuro. He can actually join the team fight and make them force out because you can harass the back line because they don't have too much HP. But with this, they have Greymane, Dehaka, Genji. On the backline, they don't really have like a mage on the backline. Samuro isn't really taking any part into the team fight. Can you win a 4v5? Well, of course it's hard.
Yeah. You can see Hanaten is just kind of spreading around the map. I mean, he's showing some of the ways you can use Samuro to gain map vision, checking this camp here, gaining some vision in the bot lane, pushing a little bit, obviously only with one of his clones. Feliz is still in a good spot in terms of tribute count, right? They're 2 of 3. They're on curse point. But this tribute's not going to be in a favorable position for them. Dahaka's going to go top. It looks like here that's where he's headed at the moment. And he can teleport down using Brush Talk at any moment. So Feliz has to be decisive. They have to use this stun from Hanzo's Dragon Arrow, I think, to win this fight. I think that is the way they're going to take it if they do.
See, Dragon Arrow can actually do so much damage when they're gathered up, just like this. Franco just poking in and out right now with Storm Arrow. Scatter going in, Genji going in, dive, does miss. Plans actually, trying to cocoon Uther, but Cassia's gone already.
Okay, Cassia is gone indeed. This looks like a great fight for GLuck here. Hanaten getting very low. They're now moving on to OJ. Gets stunned. Dwarf Toss interrupted. Divine Shield will keep him alive a little bit longer. I'm not sure if he survives this one, though. Dive coming through from Relic. OJ barely surviving.
But does get dragged, but no more damage. The turret actually doing so much damage to all the heroes. They have to back up. By the way, we forgot to mention, but if you go to hgc.playxp.com, you can actually watch all of these players in their first point of view, how they're playing these heroes right now.
That's right. Yeah, it's actually really important to mention. Check that out, hgc.playxp.com. You can see all the first-person action of these 10 players. To see kind of what they're focusing on. I think it's kind of like a place where you can choose which window you look at.
Yeah, if you want to learn Samuro, please don't. But if you want to learn, learn Hanzo and play Uther somewhere, like you can actually go in and pick which talent and how they play. Every single time when team fight happens, where you are, what you do. You can actually, I think it can help you greatly when you're trying to win Hero League. It's
definitely going to be helpful. All right, so this is crazy. This tribute. Oh, Hanaten gets stunned. Not going to be the real Hanaten, though. They committed everything to him. He just teleports away. When obviously it probably was when he moved away to his top clone. Top 4 goes down. Anyway, this tribute is curse point for both teams. They're both on the edge of 20, and both bosses are available. This just may simply decide the game. Whoever wins this tribute fight will get the curse and likely boss and perhaps double boss after the curse to push those keeps and win the game. They'll get level 20 as well. This is so important.
It is important. Of course, this may just be the game-ending, not game-ending one, but it will be close to it. It basically takes 70% going into Hanzo at the moment, but the Samuro's illusion for now.
Okay, you see the grab here, the cocoon is good. But look at that damage. Yeah, Cassia's damage so good here. Jumping through Relic with the Dragon Blade, looks for the double and gets it. And so much CC coming through this choke point. Feliz is out of luck, it looks like here.
Oh man, the Mima, even Samuro couldn't really, was harassing the backline. Greymane couldn't do a thing, but he couldn't even kill it. It's not like Li Ming or Chromie with low HP. That's the thing. Samuro, even when he's in the team fight, he's not doing much. So when basically they're fighting a 5v4 and they're losing Uther every single time.
Yeah, they're just gonna go straight for core here. Not only did they win the tribute, they killed 4. The respawn timers are too long here. So GLuck, their comp works way better for the map, clustered around the tribute. They can do so much with the AoE silence from Stukov, his healing, plus the massive CC Milky Way is able to do as they shove OJ away. Gonna commit to the core here. This is going to be game number 1. Going to our new team here, GLuck, as they cocoon OJ and look for the core destruction. That's gonna be it. Game 1 goes to GLuck, our very first match of HGC Korea 2018.
Wow, I'm honestly amazed by how GLuck actually handled this after 10. Before 10, they were losing all the team fights. Their rotation was really good from the start, and Greymane really good pickup. Their way of drafting, I think they outdrafted Feliz by heavily. But if they really didn't screw up from the very beginning, I think they could have led and really finish this game a lot quicker, you know?
Yeah. This was easily, I feel, plays based on Relic and Milky Way that won them the game. Relic's Dragon Blades were always well timed with the stuns coming out from Anub'arak, and his deflection timings were good. His invades, his ability to control the camps, and to also be aggressive and dive, his understanding of Genji was clearly shown to us in that game.
I think, yeah, not just understanding of the Genji, the entire how they controlled over the map, the camp control from the beginning. I think they had a better understanding of the new hero of the storm. You know, the new timings of what to do. Just picking Greymane right now seems like to be the meta, like KSB, Tempest, all the top teams are just first picking Greymane all the time, of course, except for the Shimada brothers. It's coming in all the, you know, Genji, Hanzo.
I mean, Hanzo was the best.
I thought maybe in 2018 we won't see as much Genji, you know?
Oh, I mean, I think Hanzo was the best bet for delaying tribute fights, which they really needed because they had Samuro and not a global as their solo laner. But the most use we really saw to Hanzo was in team fights when he was able to do free damage, and his ability to cut off Relic whenever he overextended using his Dragon's Arrow to get those stuns. I think those were really the strengths of Hanzo in that last map. Was he stronger than other ranged attack damage heroes that we could have had instead? That question still, I think, remains unanswered.
Yeah,
but
also coming out with Anub'arak Luck actually made the perfect pick, bringing out all the CC, just cocooning Uther, and because Cassia basically had to use at least few skills onto the cocoon to break that. But meanwhile, Cassia was focused. They found that answer within the first 10 minutes of the game, and that's how they won. Yeah. Nicely done by GLuck.
The Lucio ban was really cool because I think Lucio would have served a very similar role to Stukov for this comp, and like, so the Lucio ban was smart, so they went for the Stukov instead. I think the Cassia pick was also strong because they were able to identify this is going to be a dive-focused composition. Cassia's orbs did so much damage in those team fights because everyone was so bunched up, and that was kind of the plan. Like, we're diving, we got Stukov, he wants everyone to be bunched up so we can maximize the healing when we do that bio-kill switch. So it was really well played. Samuro was a little bit tricky, saw some, teleporting around the map a little bit, and his ability to check camps, for example. But even when they kept seeing, okay, they're doing night camp right now, or they're rotating here, they were never able to make any plays off of it. And Dahaka being a global meant more for them in the end in terms of tribute contesting.
If you're getting out-rotated, Samuro can't really do too much. If you're actually having the control of all the map, then Samuro goes all the way around the map, basically pressuring the opponent so much. But in this case, when you're getting outplayed like that from the early beginning, because of Greymane, simply because of Greymane from the other side, that's also why Genji could go to the other side, because Greymane started the camp so early and also can take control of every single camp. Genji was just free to go around, check everything onto the other side. I think GLuck just had the very good understanding from the very beginning to the end how they should team fight, go around the map, and how they should just go against the team comp of Feliz.
Relic, I think, showed a lot of promise. He had a few moments where I was thinking, you might get a big cheer from the crowd for this move, but you might also die for it. And even if you get the cheer, like, what are you accomplishing with this? His jumps over walls, like his invades against 3 members where he actually committed to shurikens before leaving. If those storm bolts hit him, he would have had a lot more deaths. But I think he showed a lot of individual skill. And even though sometimes it was flashy and I feel unnecessary, I think in moments where it is necessary, when he uses those same skills, I think people will be very impressed. So I was, at least from that first game.
But they're against each other when they're versing someone else who's a lot better than them, like higher up Tempest, Ballistics, KSP. I don't think it's going to be the same scene. Like, Genji may just die from the very beginning all the time, but they have to be careful. But this was like a practice. Of course, it's an official one, but they're trying to warm up. It's their first time here, and they're warming up. But it is also a best of 5, so we're not done yet, of course.
Yep, it's going to be best of 5s throughout the season, 2 of them. We'll have our second one coming up after this one. Looks like players are getting ready. Maybe some of them